Hi, I'm Catherine Diorio. This week on Check Please, engineer Charles Drayton says that if you want to construct a place with perfect Pan-Asian street fare, he's got a fantastic spot for us all. But medical salesman Gil Kagwa says that a night at his selection always cures the blues. He says it takes more than two to tango at his swingin' spot. Up first, wine consultant Lee Salzman says her pick should be the toast of the town. She says for fabulous pairings and incredible Indo-Dutch cuisine, join her in Lincoln Park at Quay.
My family is Dutch. My dad is Dutch. My grandmother in Holland was a great cook. She had her own garden, and I just had so many memories of different food ingredients and things that she made. People should expect a very interesting fusion of Dutch and Indonesian cuisine. Being such a relatively unknown cuisine from both countries, if done right, could be really interesting and give people a chance to experience some new flavors that ties the two worlds together.
You can never have enough peanut sauce, so we brought more on the sauté.
There's a word in Dutch, it's gezellig, which means very warm, cozy atmosphere, delicious food, unpretentious. It's that feeling you get just being with good friends and good wine and delicious food, and here we are. Hopefully people feel that when they're dining with us.
So Lee, you say Quay makes your day.
It does.
Why'd you choose it?
I chose Quay because I think it's upscale comfort food. I think every dish tells a story. And I think Chef Quay is in the back killing it every night. This past time I had the rice, for sure, the nasi goreng, Gouda dumplings, and then summer lamb. And it was with Gouda mashed potatoes. It was fantastic.
Nice comfort food.
It is comfort food.
They put that goat Gouda in everything, and I love it. It was in the potatoes. Oh my God, was that not insane?
It was insane.
Goat Gouda. Like, I bought a vat of it, and I bathe in it, and I've been bathing in it every day.
So that's that smell.
Yes. Yeah. On an unrelated note, I got fired today.
So what'd you think, Gil?
I actually really enjoyed it. It was one of those experiences where I've had where, you know, when I first tried to call a lot of my friends to go to it, they looked at the menu and they were a little bit hesitant because they weren't familiar with Indonesian Dutch flair. And so we finally got a group of us to go, and it was spectacular. It was one of those things where it was unexpected. First thing that we did was the fondue, which I think that changes every so once in a while. This one was with sweet corn, and adding that kind of sweet essence to that fondue made it really fantastic. We also ordered the frites, because you always got to do that. And that herb mayonnaise that they do it was fantastic. We actually tried to get the recipe from the waiter. Also the nasi goreng, am I pronouncing that right?
Yes.
Yes, that was absolutely amazing. Because you were expecting your typical Chinese fried rice where you have that kind of hesitate, not even close to it. The spiciness and the vegetables, and it was colorful and it just had a lot of flavor to it, which was outstanding.
I really loved it. You know, I do a lot of traveling for my job and for fun, and I always get a chance to dine out wherever I go, and people always ask me what my favorite places to eat are, what my favorite cities are, and they're always surprised when I mention Amsterdam. Now that we have this sort of Dutch-Indonesian restaurant there, I think the secret's out. I love dining in Amsterdam, and I absolutely loved Quay. It just brought back so many memories of having it there, and a lot of people think of the pairing as being strange, but you know, you got to consider, the Dutch East India Company had been around for 500 years, so you get all that infusion inside of, you know, what's otherwise Central European food. So you get that kind of combination of flavors in there.
And then you layer the wine on it.
You layer the wine on it, most definitely. Yeah, I absolutely loved it. I loved everything about it. It's the execution of that restaurant that really sets it apart from any place else, especially in that area. And to me, I think that's what Check Please is all about. It's the idea of finding these little gems that are sometimes hidden, or sometimes in the case of Lincoln Park, hidden in plain sight, where you're just surrounded by all of these, you know, little bro bars and pizzerias, and then you go into this restaurant, Quay, and it's like you're transported into Amsterdam. I mean, the satay was just to die for. Yeah. It was these chunks of juiciness. It's like white meat, a little bit of dark meat. I bit into it. the thing exploded in hot juices. I kind of burned myself, but it hurt so good.
You know, the Dutch colonized Indonesia, and they consider Indonesia kind of their jewel in the colonial crown, so to speak. So even when you go to Amsterdam, like you mentioned, Charles, I mean, it's something you see a lot is this Indonesian-Dutch pairing. And in fact, many take on Indonesian cuisine almost as if it's indigenous to the Netherlands. So you're a wine consultant,
Yes.
and you are driven to restaurants because of their wine lists.
Yes,
Talk
this
a little
wine
bit about
this
that.
wine list, Riesling is king. And for anyone that in the
So
wine
like
business,
a true wine person, right?
well, you know, when you see Auslese and Spatlese on a menu, you get excited.
This is a dry Riesling from Alsace. I think it'll go nicely with the pork sauté tonight.
I think with the wine and the pub and the good service, I think it's special. I think it's special to see that quality of food in a pub atmosphere and then put that wine list on there and you got a home run.
It's a different environment. So the way I kind of look at it, if you're looking for something completely different there, and it's a romantic place. I mean, it's one of those places where you can enjoy with groups of friends, but also as a couple.
And you can hear each other talk.
Right.
Yes. You were talking about the service.
Yeah.
That was impeccable. That was one thing that really, stood out to me. They were just so attentive. And it was almost like you had like 3 servers at your
That's because the
disposal.
sommelier is the manager, and he's been in Chicago a long time. And when you have a som on your floor, there's a good chance your service is going to be great.
There's definitely someone in charge at the restaurant.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. And on that same note, it's not often that you go to a restaurant and they give you these free pours. I felt like I was at a vineyard because he would just say, "Oh, why don't you try this?"
excited about
Yeah,
his wine.
he was so excited about it.
Is that your style of white wine for the Riesling, or do you want to try something? Let's keep trying. Yeah. For sure.
Terry McNeese, the wine director, he takes it very seriously, and you can tell that there's definitely a passion there. Like you said, he wants you to try it. He wants feedback.
That's my favorite dish. Yeah, I love this pairing too. Cheers. Enjoy.
Lee, you chose Quay. Sum it up for us.
I think it takes you away. I think the service is impeccable. And I think the price point's great.
Gil?
Fantastic service. And if you're trying to venture out and to try and expand your palate, I would definitely recommend Quay.
Great. Charles?
It's a hidden gem right in the middle of Lincoln Park. It's the sort of unique place that I've been waiting for a long time, and I'll definitely be back.
You can go Dutch at Quay, 2470 North Lincoln Avenue, 872-206-8820. Open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Reservations are accepted, and the average tab per person without drinks is $35. Chicago isn't sure which aspect of his selection he likes more, the authentic food or the incredible entertainment. Either way, he says for a sizzling South American night out, meet him on the dance floor at Artango.
Our family fell in love with tango over 10 years ago, and we love it. It is a passionate dance, it is a nice community, and it's all about improvisation, connection, and love. They should expect a really unique dining experience, transporting them to the golden era of Buenos Aires. So we have amazing steaks, we have an Argentine grill, we cook everything slowly to maintain the juiciness and tenderness. Everything's served Argentine style on a wooden board with a cast iron grill. And everything's about sharing, so we also have a lot of fun small plates like ceviches and tiraditos, and we have some pulpo and paella that sort of mimic the Italian and Spanish influences in Argentine cuisine. There's a lot of passion, there's a lot of sharing, and we're really just trying to share with Lincoln Square in Chicago all the things we love.
So Gil, you say Artango has all the right moves. Why'd you choose it?
I chose it because being from South America, Colombia in general, is that I kind of look for more of an authentic approach to the food. When you go there, there's a lot of tropical fruits that they involve in, but when it comes to the meats, they try to keep it as simple as possible, a lot of salt and pepper, but using a lot of the fragrances of herbs and spices to really get to it. But also I enjoyed it just because it adds a different flair to it, because you can actually learn to dance and go tango and get live music too. So live music just isn't found in some of these restaurants and bars nowadays, and it's hard to find. But that's why I enjoyed it, because not only do you get fantastic, authentic Argentinian food, but you also get to listen to amazing music and experience something that you would normally not do.
I really liked the location. I liked the atmosphere of the restaurant. I thought the atmosphere was great. And in fact, I liked it so much I went twice. The first time I went there while they had live music, and I really enjoyed the music there. The wine list, I mean, you guys are wine guys. The wine list there was outstanding. The Malbec selection there from Argentina, I mean, it was crazy. I loved it. I really liked the appetizers quite a bit as well. The steak, on the other hand, I wasn't quite as in love with. I thought, you know, it suffers a little bit from the fact that it's in a really big meat city like Chicago, where I think we're all spoiled in the sense that we like our steak done a certain way. You know, high sear, and you have your indirect heat. Whereas I think sometimes Argentinian steakhouses are a little up against it because they tend to do more like medium-high heat all throughout. So you ask for it medium rare, you sometimes get it medium rare right in the center, but you get a little more inconsistency along the edges. So as I was cutting into it, I just kept thinking, it's a little overcooked, it's a little tough. I wasn't as crazy about it.
So it's traditionally being cooked in the Argentinian way, so you're getting that slow and low cooking, unlike American style, which is quick and hot. So it's authentic, but maybe not what you enjoy as far as your steak goes.
Yeah, exactly. But I have to give a huge shout out to the empanadas. The empanadas were absolutely outstanding, especially the cheese one. It was strange because I thought that my favorite dishes there were the dishes that had no meat in it. I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult, but
It's always good to like something, right? Well, I want to hear what Lee has to say about it.
Well, I think the space is beautiful, and the location, what a pop of energy to Lincoln Square, because I kind of feel like it needed it on that corner and that little strip, that cute strip. We had a little hiccup with the bar.
Okay.
So it was pretty busy, and the bar was in over its head. So we waited 40 minutes for our cocktails.
Okay.
After that settled down, though, once they kind of got it under control, the night transitioned into Buenos Aires. I spent time there. I love it there. It became a jazzy, breezy. I thought the food was excellent. Our steak, we had the twisted ribeye and the paella. And we had the empanadas, we had the ceviche, we had the meat, and I thought it was excellent. I thought it tasted like Argentinian food. It was authentic. I love the chimichurris, and they gave you multiple tastes.
Chimichurri by the bowl, I swear.
can too. It's a problem.
Yeah.
I think they're killing it in the kitchen. I think there's somebody back there that is bringing out and putting out excellent food, and I think that's the story. And there was a tango dance. There was a 15-minute break in the night, and it was cute. It was nice, but the story there is who's ever cooking, because our food was outstanding.
One thing that I enjoyed is morcilla, which is blood sausage.
yes, my favorite dish, or my favorite meat dish while I was there, were definitely the sausages. Really, really good. Nice spice to it as well. I'd go back just for the sausages because I thought they were so good.
Also, the ceviche is wonderful, so it's a great place to go for all those different types of.
Don't forget secret desserts.
Yes, I know you like the passion fruit dessert.
Yes, there was a passion fruit and a chocolate cake that was beautiful.
Well, okay, so I know, Charles, I know you took one of the dance lessons.
I did.
Right? I actually am a tango enthusiast. I've been dancing tango for years, and one, it's rare to find a tango place in Chicago, so it's unusual in that sense, but it's truly like what it would be like when you go to Argentina or like a milonga. There's families, there's couples, there's friends, and you eat and you dance, and it's very traditional the way this night is set up.
it's Latin, so you're going to get, your Brazilian music, you're going to get your Argentinian music, you're going to get cumbia, you're going to get salsa, you're going to get a variety of different other things.
Well, Gil, you chose Artango. Sum it up for us.
So Artango is an authentic Argentinian restaurant where you can go sit there and enjoy and listen to live music or dance lessons and just have a wonderful evening there.
Great. Lee?
Go to Artango for the sultry later in the evening, the music, the food, the dessert. We'll work on the bartending with them.
And Charles?
Really good live music, a nice place to go hang out, have some appetizers, and has the potential to be the best vegetarian restaurant in Lincoln Square.
You can dance the night away at Artango, just off Lawrence at 4767 North Lincoln Avenue, 872-208-7441. Open for dinner every night. Reservations are accepted. The average tab per person without drinks is $35. From big boulevards to cute little courts, Charles Drayton loves restaurants in areas all over Chicago. But when it comes to his check please pick, he says there's no better place than Noble Square and Mott Street.
The menu at Mott Street is inspired by the night cravings. It's comfort food to us. We happen to be Asian and American, so it's those flavor profiles. It's savory, it's spicy, or it's just simple home cooking. So many cultures, so many influences, but with an Asian technique. Mounds of food that you can just pick at, get your hands dirty, get your mouth dirty. What an honor that we get to host just life here at Mott Street for everybody. We're sharing with the world things that we want to eat, things that we want to share with our guests. We've worked so hard to, get this thing plated this way, get the sauce just right, seasoned just correctly. So there's a lot of passion behind that, and when guests just get it, when they participate with the food, when they order well, when they want to drink well, and they're participating with us, we kind of dance together. And when the food just comes out right, the right pairing, the right dish comes together, and all these details work at the same time, it's magical.
Charles, you say Mott Street can't be beat. Tell us why you chose it.
I'm from New York City originally, and even though I've been here for almost 8 years, I sometimes get really homesick. So when I heard that a restaurant opened up that's named after the most famous street in Chinatown back home, I just thought, oh my God, I've definitely got to be there. I tried it out, and it reminds me so much of that New York Asian style attitude. And even though it's not that traditional Chinatown type restaurant, it's a bit more Tribeca, I really loved the vibe of the place. I loved the wings there. I loved everything about it. It became one of my go-to spots in the neighborhood. It became my little touch of home.
What kind of food are they serving there?
It's really a combination of different cuisines from around Asia. Even though it's Mott Street and it's supposed to be Chinatown, you get some Chinese dishes, but you get a lot of Korean-inspired dishes. The everything wings, for example. Those are made in a very Korean type of style where you bite into it and you just get the steam that comes out and you get that hard fry that you're used to with a lot of that kind of Korean type of wing.
Yeah, we were all
Big
fighting
flavors.
over those wings there. Like one of those things where you see there, like it's in the middle. You're all staring at each other like, okay, who's gonna grab this one?
That's why you go by yourself, like I did last night.
The food I thought was absolutely amazing. I loved the kind of fusion of the Korean. The only thing was the bartending aspect of it, which was kind of a little bit interesting because there was 5 of us there and 2 of us got our drinks. Then 10 minutes later, another 2 people got their drinks. And then we kept on asking for the 5th person to get their drinks. So when the first group finished their drinks, they finally got served their drinks. That was the only negative aspect of the whole entire thing. But We ordered a ton of food, and every single dish was absolutely wonderful. From the Brussels sprouts to the mussels. The mussels were, I love mussels, and I try to get mussels everywhere. It was a nice broth, and it was spicy, and that's a flavor that you really don't get with mussels too often.
We had an 8:45 reservation, and we got there on time, and it was about a 15-minute wait. And then when I went back 15 minutes later, she says, well, it's going to be an hour wait if you want to sit inside because we have a bachelorette party. So I'm like, okay, well, it's 65 out, but we sat outside, and it is the cutest patio in Chicago, hands down, no question. I thought the food was good. It was very reminiscent of dim sum to me. I thought the flavors were very dim sum-like. We had a gailan, which is sauteed Chinese broccoli and oyster sauce. We had the fried rice. We had the shrimp, small plate. It was like a salt and pepper shrimp. And we had charred cauliflower and a bottle of Chacolina wine, which is from Biarritz, Basque region. I thought it was expensive. I thought the small plates, like we couldn't quite get enough.
Like
I'm
that.
just trying to figure out if anyone paid $150 for that ribeye, because that was the one thing that kind of took me back a little
The
bit.
$60 fish blew my mind.
No.
The price.
Yes.
I'm like,
We didn't
so
get
have
it.
you
It was
ever
too
had that
expensive.
$150 ribeye?
I have not had the $150 ribeye. I
prices are
did have the
crazy.
whole fish, and it's enormous. It's a sort of thing that requires probably 3 people to eat.
I think it's interesting. There's kind of the millennial generation is willing to pay kind of what it is, and that's for the experience of dining out. And it's become a priority, I think, for this generation to dine out and try these different places.
And a lot of people meet other people while they're there, especially in some of the communal tables that they have there, and it becomes part of this overall extended communal experience.
But I also think they're kind of circling back a little bit with service, about that service is key. I think they could work on their service. You know, telling someone that's a bachelorette party, they're basically saying, well, too bad, so sad.
Yeah.
You know, you guys don't really matter, so.
Yeah. It's funny. I think in some ways they almost take a bit of pride in how they perform service, because it gives it, they try and intentionally do that sort of New York kind of cool, chill attitude with the way they do things. When I can't speak for the entire millennial generation, but my philosophy for service is, as long as you don't punch me in the face or hit on my wife, I'm pretty okay with pretty much anything you bring to me, as long as the food's good.
What crowd is hanging out there?
You're definitely going to get the Wicker Park crowd. So, you know, bring your wooden bow tie, bring your hat, and you'll be in good company. You see a lot of the hipster crowd that goes there, and you see that in the interior of the restaurant as well. It has that very industrial, reclaimed vibe to it.
I wouldn't know we weren't allowed in.
Aye. You can have my wine.
Charles, you chose Mott Street. Sum it up for us.
It reminds me of everything that I love about New York City along a stretch of the most New York-like neighborhood in all of Chicago.
And Gil?
Mott Street has wonderful food. It's a great fusion of Asian. The only thing that I would work on is the service.
Okay. And Lee?
I think it's great for vegans. I think it's great for vegetarians. Cute patio, pricey.
You can try the wings and more at Mott Street, 1401 North Ashland Avenue, 773-687-9977. Open for dinner Tuesday through Saturday and brunch on Sundays. Reservations are accepted, and the average tab per person without drinks is $35. So on this week's show, we featured Quay in Lincoln Park, Artango in Lincoln Square, and Mott Street in Noble Square. Let's recap what our guests had to say. First, we made our way to Lincoln Park and checked out Quay. Lee recommends it for delicious Indo-Dutch cuisine with a wine list to pair. Gil really enjoyed the unique cuisine and had amazing service. Charles loved everything about it and was transported to Amsterdam. Next, we danced our way up to Lincoln Square and visited Artango. Gil recommends it for an authentic Argentinian atmosphere and cuisine. Charles was not a fan of the steak, but said the appetizers were outstanding. Lee thought the music was nice and had an excellent meal. Lastly, we went to Ashland Avenue and dropped in at Mott Street. Charles recommends it for a unique Asian cuisine with hip vibe. Gil enjoyed his meal, although noted the service could improve some. Lee said the food was fine, but thought it was pricey. We've had a wonderful time this week. I want to thank my guests, Gil Kagwa, Charles Drayton, and Lee Salzman. Join us next week for 3 new guests recommending 3 of their favorite restaurants right here on Check Please. I'm Catherine Diorio, and I'll see you then. Cheers.
For more information about the restaurants featured on Check Please, go to WTTW.com/checkplease.